Hello and welcome to our Trippy Food Veterans Day special. Today in the United States, it's Veterans Day. And Veterans Day was marked the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, which marked the end of World War I. And it's a day that we remember people who have served in the military and who have fought for their country. So today we are in Fort Stevens in Hammond, Oregon. And Fort Stevens has a unique history, which we're about to find out. So let's look around the fort a little bit. Okay, right now we're at Battery Russell, which is at the south end of the fort. And Battery Russell has a unique historical significance. During World War II, while it was an active fort, in June of 1942, the fort was shelled by a Japanese submarine. And it was at Battery Russell where most of the shells landed. However, they didn't do any damage. And the commander of the fort ordered a blackout and ordered that they don't return fire. So I think that helped for the Japanese sub not to be able to find targets and do any kind of real damage. But it was the only time during World War II that a military installation in the continental United States was attacked by the Japanese. There were other places up and down the coast that the Japanese did a little bit of shelling and everything, but they didn't do any real harm or any real damage. So there's some cultural significance to this particular site. Fort Stevens was built at the end of the Civil War, and it was strategic in that we're at the mouth of the Columbia River where it empties out in the Pacific Ocean, so it was strategic from that standpoint. And it was used during the end of the Civil War, during the First World War, and then through the Second World War. The fort was closed after 1947. So right now we're at Battery 245, and Battery 245 has one of the newer guns here, but elsewhere in the park they have replicas of the disappearing guns, which were a bit larger guns that they used at the time to defend the coast. We're on top of the batteries right now, and behind me is a replica of a disappearing gun. And basically it was on hinges, so it would come up over the wall, fire, and then come on back down again. And again, they've all been removed from the batteries here, so this one here is a replica. The area behind me is where the barracks were. Now these were obviously wooden buildings, so once they dismantled the fort, they just tore it down for supplies, and all that's left is the chimneys and the bases to where they once were. But this is where all the soldiers would stay while they were in the fort. Fort Stevens is an interesting chapter in American history and something that everybody should check out. And let's remember on Veterans Day in the United States to thank a vet for laying his life on the line and service for his country. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below, and be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.